confidence to rise when you know you have decisions to make or challenges in your life? How do you get your confidence to soar and step up? Because it was interesting. I had a guy yesterday reach out to me, surprise person, and this man actually started a new role at a very large corporation, and he's in his 20s. And he was asking me about confidence because he saw, I think, some of my posts on Facebook about how confident I am and what I do in my work and how I walk on glass in my presentation. And so he probably noticed I've got some confidence. And so, how do you step into that space if you need to make a decision or you need to do something in your work that pushes your edge? And I did a keynote this week, and it was so profound to see the photos of the facial expressions of the women who were my support people because I've never seen this before. Unfortunately, I had a friend in the audience who was right in the front of this presentation I was giving, and she was able to take many, many photos of me. And then these two women that came up on stage to support me during my glass walk. And this morning, I was noticing their facial expressions. And the beautiful part of it is I can see the progression of what I'm doing when I begin and them looking at the glass with their faces in surprise or shock. I don't actually know in that moment what they were feeling, but I do know that their facial expressions did give me a lot of potential information. And they were up there kind of not knowing what they were doing except supporting me. Very simple instructions: hold my hand, clean my feet with a brush when I'm finished. And actually, I've never had two volunteers come up and help me. So that was new. And on top of that, I had a board that my nephews created, a like a three-sided board to put my glass walk on so that I could crunch the glass very loudly. And there was a microphone next to the board. So there was a lot of new stuff going on during this keynote that I gave. But what kind of came to me this morning after this man had asked me this question, it's like, would you be willing to step onto broken glass to make your decisions, to become more confident? Every week I come on here and talk about pushing your edge. So, what would you be willing to do, and how do you create that confidence? And it's very simple. I'm not going to say it's easy because even in that moment for me, I was trying something new and it wasn't easy per se, but it's simple. It's called taking the next step. Doing what you know is going to be scary, but doing it anyway. Walking through the fear of whatever it is you think maybe you're not capable of doing, and then showing up and doing it anyway through the fear, and then seeing yourself emerge on the other side victorious and celebrating yourself. This is what is going to build the confidence. And so many people, they say they're going to do something, they talk the talk all day long, and then they never walk the talk. And I am not one of those people. And I'm here to support the people that want to walk the talk. Because right now in our world, and this is something I was listening to this speaker on YouTube this past week, and everything she was saying, hello, everything she was saying was about stepping into your consciousness, reclaiming your power, believing in who you are, believing in your potential, believing in what you're capable of, listening to your intuition, following your intuition, and then constantly stepping forward into a new version of yourself. And I say this to people when they hear me do my keynote: I'm never the same person that I was after my keynote. Why? Because there's a different audience. There's a different level of edginess that I'm going to push myself to in order to then push my audience to a different level. Because I don't want people to leave my videos. I don't want people to leave my keynote presentations. I don't want people to leave my presence when they come to mentor with me. I don't want anybody to leave not having gleaned some sort of different type of energy or confidence or wisdom than when they were out of my presence. Because that's why I'm here. I'm an activator, I'm an alchemist, I'm a transformer. And I want everybody to wake up. I want people to wake up and realize who they are. And the more people that do that, the more people who study why I behave, not me, why you behave this way. Why am I not confident? What is it about me that's unhealed? What is it about me that I need to shift or change? What is it about my relationships that make me frustrated? I am here to activate you, to get you to look a little deeper at yourself and who you are, and for you to expand as a person. That's why I'm here. And so every time I'm in someone else's presence, I'm activating them. And some people don't like it. And I know one of my priestess sisters and I, we talk about this all the time. She is kind of like a dark priestess. And sometimes people are very activated and they're triggered by her because she's very direct and very honest and they don't like it. But for me, most of the time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise you up, lift you up, help you build your confidence to step into those spaces where you feel like, I want to do something more in my life. I want to be a greater version of myself. I want to evolve into something more and go after my dreams or desires, or not live the way I'm living because I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of this relationship or of this job, or not doing what I want to do with my life. And that's why people have come to me over the years for coaching, mentoring. That's why I created my women's program, Find Your Fire. And if you want to learn more about that, you can go to my website. It's reclaimrebuildrestore.com. It's a 5 module program. You can do it at your own pace. I created this women's program years ago because I wanted women to start stepping into their potential and to really start becoming empowered and to take care of themselves and to chase their dreams and desires. Because so many people, not just women, but a lot of it is women, women don't go after what they want because of fear of failure, because of lack of support, lack of confidence, lack of money. And that's what I also went through and experienced. I was feeling all of those things. And so I wanted to support women and I wanted to, um, oh, that's kind of funny. Uh, so something about super concerned. Oh gosh. Well, I don't know. Maybe you should call a personal chef. So that's why I created this women's program, is because I wanted to help women find their fire, because I had lost my fire years ago and I wanted to get it back, but I really didn't know how to do that. And I had lost my confidence and I did feel desperate and isolated, and I felt out of touch with who I was, who I had been before I got married. And I needed to go back to that woman, but I didn't even end up going back to her. I actually improved myself by a million percent. And that's what I do now as well with my Find Your Fire program. But again, in my keynote presentation, people are watching me expand, but I'm really trying to support and enforce, and not enforce so much as to support and lead others into transformation. And again, that's why we're here. And so, how do you get more confidence in your life? Are you a super confident person? Do you always go after what you want? Do you push your edge? Do you travel to foreign places and get out of your regular environment? Travel is one of the biggest ways that you can push your edge, because you have to be in a different place and your senses are really heightened, it's really valuable to travel out of your little area, out of your little bubble. And I can get in my bubble too, but that is one way to build your confidence. Another way to build your confidence is to try to maybe go to a different type of restaurant or try a new food, or to go somewhere in your local area that you've never been, that you've been wanting to go to. Another way to build your confidence is to go within and to spend time in meditation and to spend time in connecting with yourself. Because when we do that, we get to know ourselves a little deeper. And sometimes what ends up happening is our shadow starts to come to life. My son feels depressed when he meets a friend who came from Italy after an MBA degree. He thinks his friend got better exposures than him. What to advise him? Where is your son? When he meets a friend who came from Italy after an okay, so your son feels like um he doesn't he's not as good as that friend. Is that what your friend is feeling? This is a great place to go within and meditate and really get to understand, what is it about me that does not feel worthy? That's what your son is feeling. India. Okay. Your son is feeling this unworthiness, that he is not enough. But you know what? Every person has their own path, and every person has their own gifts, and nobody is supposed to be the same. So, what lights your son up? What makes him happy about himself? And why does he feel this depression within him? Because he's comparing himself to someone else. He's in comparison mode. And whenever we're in comparison mode, yes, we are going to feel unhappy, depressed, not good enough, not worthy. Your son needs to figure out how he can love himself. And this is the journey of being a human. It's about, how do I fall deeper in love with me? And in order to do that, you have to start figuring out, what is it that makes me unhappy, or where does that stem from? And it's kind of like a, what I'm going to call maybe a treasure hunt, because the treasure is finding love of self. But you have to go on the scavenger hunt for it. You can't just expect things to change without doing some digging and some deeper work. And that is why we are here. We are not here to just go to school, get an MBA, and work and retire and die. That is a program that we have been taught. That is called dogma and indoctrination. And actually, it was specifically set up that way. And we are specifically trained to do these certain things in order to feel valuable and worthy. And they're incorrect, they're wrong. But you have to take the steps to investigate why you feel that way. And it takes work and digging. And sometimes, yes, it's painful. It's painful. And what does your son want to create? What does he want to create? Does he want an MBA? Well, why? Why does he want an MBA? What's that going to give him? Because, like I said, we all have different gifts, we all have different talents. Maybe your son is not meant to get his MBA. Maybe his heart longs to do something else, but because we've been indoctrinated, and because he thinks an MBA is the only way he's going to get recognition or love, that's why he thinks he needs it. So he has to do a little investigative work on himself. And I would say journaling is a really, really good way for us to get to know ourselves, to start doing some journaling. Every day I journal, people, every single solitary day. And it really helps me to process my thoughts. So, those are my tips for you. Hopefully, some of those you can start working on. There's loads of books he could read, but I would highly encourage him to start, investigating where this stems from and what his true gifts are. And maybe they have nothing to do with an MBA. So, just my advice, my suggestions, an invitation for you. So, let me just finish up because I'm going to go. I got a lot of yard work to get done. We have beautiful spring here, but I need to do some cleanup work in my yard. But back to this confidence thing and how we step into those spaces is by taking action. And no matter how scared you are, there's somebody that's probably gone before you and done it before you, and you're just going to have to take the step. You're just going to have to do it because once you do it, it will anchor into your subconscious and imprint. And the next time you go to do a scary thing, you can reflect back on, oh, yeah. I did that really scary thing and look what happened. I made it through and I got to the other side. And that's what you have to continue to do. It's kind of like, and I'll end on this. It's kind of like me talking about all the miracles that have occurred for me in my life. And when I was a little girl, I think I used to think miracles were these big miracles, like, oh my gosh, someone's paralyzed and now they can walk again. Or, oh my gosh, Jesus, he walked on water. And how could any of us ever do that? Or, miracles are the person dies and comes back to life. We think of miracles as these really big dramatic scenarios that happen to only certain people and they're very few and far between. Well, that's just horseradish, horse manure, horse whatever, because we have miracles that happen for us all of the time. I do. I can tell you, I could write a book about how many miraculous things have happened for me over my lifetime, although I've only started noticing them and the wonderful things that have occurred for me only probably in the last 15 years. And I'm in my 50s. So, what for you has been miraculous in your life? Did some relationship end, but another one that was even better began? Did you move to exactly the right place? Did you have a windfall of money when you needed it? Did you find the perfect job that you never thought you would get? Like, you all, we do not take the time to register. Thank you. To register or notice. Come on, Apollo. Come on. When things are really happening for us that are miraculous. We don't. We just let them go. We just think that, oh, that's a coincidence, or that was just something so small. But no, there are countless times that I bet you can say, and the more you notice them, the more they occur. And I just had a big, big, big miraculous thing happen for my daughter actually recently. And it's really helpful for me too. But it's for a dream of hers and it happened, and it's so amazing how it happened. Although for me, for a long time, I thought it's a long story, but what I can say is start noticing these times in your life that where you have these miraculous things occur. Maybe, you were not in a car crash like because you didn't leave your house at the time you were supposed to and you were late and you missed a car crash, or you showed up somewhere and you ran into the exact person that you needed to because you had a question or a decision you had to make. These are the things that happen for us all the time. And the more you thank the universe and the more you thank whatever it is you believe in, like if it's spirit, God, a higher power, the universe, source energy, the creator, the more you say thank you and the more you acknowledge it and say, wow, this really did happen, the more you start to notice it and the more things like that occur. And then it's just this windfall of good happening for you. And this has happened for me so much. And actually this is one thing that has built my confidence. It has built my confidence to see that the universe is working for me. The universe is on my side. I just have to continue to show up. And I have to continue to co create with the universe. And I have to continue to awaken my consciousness and think about, who do I want to be? How much more love can I provide and service can I provide and take care of myself at the same time? There's a balance there. So, thank you for joining me today. I love coming on here, and I'm glad my video actually worked today because I did do my video last week, but my internet, of course, was just crazy. So today, I guess I was meant to come on here and give a message, and I hope you all are having a super fabulous day. I come on here every single Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, and sometimes it's a little late because I can't get on the internet. But most of the time, I'm really trying. So thank you for joining me. If you know anybody that would be interested in my Fear to Confidence talks on Thursday, please send them my way. Subscribe, like, share, whatever it is. If there's somebody out there that needs a little amping up, a little love and tenderness, and also a little push, because that's what I love to do. I love to push your edge, to go out there and do what your dreams are. Just chase your dreams and desires, create what you want to create. But at the same time, always remember that we're creating in love and we're creating for the betterment and the good of all. And sometimes that means we got to work on ourselves. Sometimes that does mean we got to look at our ego and our shadow side. It's very important right now as we are changing the consciousness of our planet because there's a lot of crud going on where I in the United States for sure. And there's a lot of fear. I have felt it and anger. I have felt that too this week. If you all are feeling that in the collective. I can feel it. I really am empathetic about what's happening. And people are watching and they're nervous and they're afraid. And they don't have a lot of confidence in what's going on in the United States. And, justifiably, yes. But at the same time, if we all begin to remember our inherent power and remember who we truly are, that we are beings of light, um, that we are being spiritual beings wanting to change the trajectory of this planet. If we can remember that stuff and we can really anchor that in and love our neighbor and uh, remember to love ourselves, then we will change the future of this planet. And that's what I'm really hoping is happening and hoping is coming about for our collective because there needs to be change. We need to see some change for sure, especially in the US. I don't know about where you are, but in the United States, we definitely need to see some structures fall and do some things differently because it's not working anymore. It's not working. It's really we've reached a pivotal place, you all. So, all right, have a super duper fabulous day. Can't wait to connect with you next Thursday. I will be on here next Thursday. The following Thursday, I will not. But I will be on here. If you've got any questions you want to ask me, where do you from? What is your life goal? Well, I'm from the United States of America. I live in the middle of the USA in Missouri, the state of Missouri. And what's my life goal? Well, currently, what I'm working on is becoming a paid professional speaker. So that's my dream is and what I'm doing right now is doing a lot of free speaking for places in order to get my name out there and in order for me to practice and get better and better at my craft. So I'm putting myself out there constantly, constantly. And I'm reaching out to people and I'm sending emails and I'm calling people and I'm texting people and I'm posting on social media because my dream is to be a paid professional speaker. And I have been paid, but I just want to be paid more. So that's one of my dreams. I have several, but that's the big one right now that I'm really focused on because a lot of what I've been doing for many years is supporting others in their dreams. But now it's time for me to chase mine and go after mine because my children were here and I'm a single mom and I've really been supporting my children. Thank you. Thank you. I've been supporting my children. I walked my elderly parents to death's door. I have supported many, many clients over the years. But now it's time for me to be out there professionally speaking, traveling the world. I love to travel. And so that's what I'm pursuing. What are you pursuing? And I hope you will go after it. I hope you will believe that it is possible. You have to show up, you have to take the steps to get there. And this is what I think about. If I do the footwork, spirit will do the rest of the work behind me, behind the scenes, things I can't see. And that's when the synchronicities happen and people start to notice and serve and help and raise you up and get you to that dream or goal or desire. So you have to make a list. That's something I would suggest for your son. Tell him to make a list of what he wants. What do you want? That's one of the hardest things because if we put stuff on the list, a lot of times we think, I'll never get it. And that's why people don't even make the list to begin with. But I would encourage your son to make a list. And maybe there's things on there that he never realized he really wanted. So, because I've had things come into my head thinking, I wouldn't, why would I want to do that? I don't want to do that. What is that? But then as time goes on, I realize, well, that sounds pretty amazing. I think I'd like to do that. That's in my heart. You got to follow your heart. So, thank you again for joining me. Thanks for the subscriptions, the likes, the shares. And I will see you next Thursday here to talk about something with fear to confidence. All right, signing off. Have a great day.